I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, August the 7th, 2013. The Times of Israel reports that U.S. peace envoy Martin Indyk will arrive in Israel on Sunday for a round of meetings with top Israeli officials. The Times said sources in Jerusalem told the paper that Indyk would be meeting with officials from the Prime Minister's office, the Foreign Ministry's office, as well as members of Justice Minister Tzipi Livni's negotiating team, although the Prime Minister's office would not confirm those reports. As we reported to you yesterday, Livni, who is heading the negotiations with the Palestinians, said the next round of peace talks would take place in Israel next week, reportedly in Jerusalem's King David Hotel. The Jerusalem Post reported that talks would get started on Wednesday, August the 14th. Meanwhile, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas did not attend a meeting in Ramallah yesterday as planned to discuss the next round of peace talks with Israel. As we reported to you yesterday, Abbas was scheduled to chair the meeting of PLO and Fatah leaders, but the PA president made a surprise visit to Saudi Arabia instead, where he's expected to meet with King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz. No reason was given for the cancellation of the Ramallah meeting, but sources in Ramallah said that the meeting could take place after the Muslim feast of Eid al-Fitr, which signifies the end of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Eid al-Fitr begins tomorrow and ends on Sunday. The Jerusalem Post reports that Israel today asked the High Court of Justice to uphold the state's decision to release 104 Palestinian prisoners as part of the renewed peace process. The state's request follows a recent petition by the Almagor Terror Victims Association to block the release of the prisoners, most of whom are terrorists with, as they say in Israel, blood on their hands, and are serving life sentences. The state explained its decision behind the prisoner release, saying they believe it gives Israel the potential for improving its security situation by potentially resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and that it would also help Israel better handle the unstable Arab Spring developments in the region, as well as better isolate threats from Iran. The state added that the release was spread out into 4 rounds over 9 months to better ensure that each round would only occur if the Palestinian side was acting in good faith regarding its peace process obligation. The first release of prisoners is set to take place Tuesday, August the 13th. Israel's Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon said today that operations along Israel's border with Lebanon will continue as usual after several IDF soldiers were hurt early this morning by an explosive device during operational activity in the area. As you may have seen on IBA News, the 4 soldiers sustained light to moderate injuries when their force stepped on an explosive device, and the IDF was investigating the circumstances of the incident and whether the device was possibly an old or new mine. Following the incident, the Lebanese army accused Israel of violating Lebanese territory and asked the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL, to investigate. In a statement issued to the press this afternoon, UNIFIL said it was informed by the Lebanese armed forces that an IDF patrol had crossed the so-called blue line separating the 2 countries, and that they were investigating and looking for traces of a possible explosion or other activity. Israel has yet to comment officially on the incident, but Ya'alon said the IDF will continue its routine operations in the north for the sake of keeping peace and calm in the area. He said, of course, we will draw the necessary lessons, but the activity will continue for the sake of the security of Israel's residents. China's ambassador to Israel met yesterday in Jerusalem with Israeli Minister of Science, Space and Technology Yaakov Perry, where the two discussed expanding their respective countries' cooperation in the fields of science and technology to benefit both countries' economies. Gao Yanping told Perry that her government has set a goal to deepen ties with Israel in those fields. She said Chinese society admires Israel's many achievements, especially in the fields of science, research, development, and technology. Thus, we regarded all cooperation with you as a genuine asset to the Chinese people and the Israeli people. She said both countries together can create more workplaces, investments, and developments. The Chinese ambassador's visit follows Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's recent state visit to China this past May. And finally today, the Jewish Week reports that tourism in Israel went up last year and continues to be on the rise. This according to Israel's Minister of Tourism, Uzi Landau, a veteran of Israel's Knesset. Landau noted the increase during an interview at the Israeli consulate in New York City, that 2012 was a record year for Israeli tourism, with about 3.5 million visitors, and that the past few months have shown an increase as well. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, August the 7th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.